Come again.
Hello, and welcome to the American Massage Conference pre-conference broadcast series on Massage Therapy Radio. I'm Felicia Brown, and I'll be your host for this interview and series. This is one of several broadcasts with the presenters and experts who are appearing at the American Massage Conference, which is being held May 20th through 22nd, 2011, in beautiful Atlanta, Georgia. Our special guest today is Laura Allen. Today, Laura and I will be talking about her free one-day class for students at the American Massage Conference, How to Pass the NCB Exam, or MBLEx, sponsored by ABMP. But before we begin, let me tell you a little bit about Laura. Laura Allen has been practicing healing touch since 1993 and massage and bodywork since 1998. She is a graduate of the Whole You School of Massage and Bodywork in Rutherfordton, North Carolina. Laura is the author of The Plain and Simple Guide to Therapeutic Massage and Bodywork Examinations, 1 Year to a Successful Massage Therapy Practice, and has just released her new book, A Massage Therapist's Guide to Business. Laura is also an approved provider of continuing education under the National Certification Board for Therapeutic Massage and Bodywork, offering a wide array of continuing education classes for licensed therapists, as well as preparatory classes for passing the NCE. Laura, welcome to the American Massage Conference pre-conference broadcast series. As always, it's great to talk with you and to have the opportunity to find out about your class at the American Massage Conference, How to Pass the NCB Exam, or MBLEx, sponsored by ABMP.
Well, thank you very much, Felicia, and I'm just excited to be here and happy to be part of the American Massage Conference, and thank you for including me in this series.
Well, we're really glad to have you here. It's always wonderful to talk to you and hear about your ideas. And before we get into your actual topic, I'd really like to find out from you, what made you decide to be a part of the American Massage Conference in Atlanta? Why do you want to be a part of that?
Well, I know the organizers, Scott and Eric and Melanie, from my past participation at the virtual event, the World Massage Conference, and that is just a class act. It's one of the best things that's ever happened in our profession, the virtual conference is, and so they're bringing it to reality. And I didn't hesitate for a minute to say, yeah, I want to participate in that, because I'm sure it's just going to be a great, great event.
Well, I agree with you completely. It's a wonderful opportunity to be involved in this inaugural event down in Atlanta, and Scott and his team definitely do a great job with the other events that they put together. I have to ask you, though, a lot of these conferences are thought of to be for licensed and practicing massage therapists. Why should students come to the American Massage Conference in particular?
Well, there are number one, some great opportunities for education, including my class, which is for students. It's to help them pass the exam. But the other thing is just all the great exhibitors that will be at this conference. A lot of times students have very limited exposure to products. They use whatever their massage school hands out or sells in the student store, and they maybe only see the books that their school uses and that kind of thing. So there will be a lot of exhibitors at this event, and they'll get the opportunity to sample products. In fact, I think there's a lot of goodie bags being given out, and students have the opportunity to get a lot of some free products and get to sample things and see them and touch them and see how they really work out in real practice and that kind of thing. It's just a great opportunity for students.
Well, excellent. I agree with you, and we're going to talk more about that a little bit later on. But first, I'd like to learn a little bit more about your class and really the subject matter that you're covering, these certification exams for massage therapists and bodyworks. Can you first start out by telling us the difference between the MBLEx and the National Certification Exam?
Well, they're very similar exams, but they do have their differences. The National Certification Board for Therapeutic Massage and Bodywork actually has several different exams. They offer an exam that's the National Certification in Therapeutic Massage. Then they offer one that's the National Certification in Therapeutic Massage and Bodywork, which includes subject matter, Eastern philosophy, Eastern bodywork modalities, and that kind of thing. And they also have a option available, the state exam for licensure, I believe it's called, NSEL, I believe it is. And the MBLEx is owned by the Federation of State Massage Therapy Boards. It's owned by the member boards, and it's a very similar exam. It is strictly a licensure exam. The National Certification Exam is a certification exam that happens to be used for licensure in a lot of states, and it was the only thing out there for quite a few years, 17 years, I think. And the MBLEx has been out there for about 3 years now, I believe it is. The MBLEx is a shorter exam, is heavier on ethics content, and I believe the reason for that is because the state boards that are members of the Federation, report having quite a few ethics violations, and their mission is public protection. So I believe 18% of the MBLEx is ethics, and about 12% maybe of the National Cert covers that area. But they both cover anatomy, physiology, pathology, kinesiology, all kinds of ologies, and, business practices, ethics, client assessment, massage theory and practice, and all of that. So they both have similar subject matter. The MBLEx is a little bit shorter exam. I think it's 125 questions, and the NCB exams are 160.
Okay. So how long exactly, Laura, have you been working to help students pass the different massage and bodywork exams?
Actually, a little bit over 10 years. I actually tutored, other students that were in my own class in massage school. And then about 2002, I started putting it down on paper and writing my book about how to pass the exam. And then it was, I self-published that for a couple of years, and then it was taken over by Lippincott, Williams, and Wilkins. So I've been at it for about 10 years.
What prompted you to do that, Laura? I mean, I know you personally, so I know the kind of person you are. You've definitely always been out there to help others, but what made you decide to get involved in creating this course and creating the book that you did and just helping students pass this exam?
Well, students were complaining about the other books that were out there, not having enough information on pathology and not having enough information on the Eastern part of the exam, which back in the days when I went to massage school, the National Board had not yet come out with the massage therapy only exam, and the exam for massage therapy and bodywork was the only thing that was out there. So you needed to know that Eastern material. So I read the other books, and I thought, well, they don't pay that much attention to it, so I just got the smart alecky attitude that I could do better. And that's what led me to write the book.
Well, and it's a great thing that you've done that. I was in the same boat when I took my national certification exam, twice actually. I took it when I graduated from school, and then again a few years later when I needed a few more continuing education credits and didn't have the money. This was back before we had state licensing here in North Carolina. I had the option of just taking the test again, so I did. And that Oriental bodywork was kind of confusing. We didn't have a lot on that in school, certainly not the amount that was on the exam. So I can see how that would be a stumbling block to a lot of people. It's great that they've created separate exams now for the NCB, and that now that the MBLEx is available, that there's a number of options available for people.
Yes, and most states right now are actually accepting both exams. There are, I think there are a few states that accept the MBLEx exclusively, including North Carolina now, and there are There are, I think, 32 states that take the MBLEx, and still about 38 or something that take the NCE exams, and most of that's overlapping. Most of the states that take one are actually taking the other, I think, as well, and giving people a choice of which one they want to take.
Well, that's great, but I know even with the choices that people have, some students are still having problems with the exam. What do you think is the biggest obstacle that students face when it comes to passing one of these exams?
Well, I think a lot of people just have test anxiety, and the other thing I think is, poor study habits are detrimental to passing an exam, and people may not realize that they have poor study habits. They may think if they sit there and go on these big, hours-long study marathons that they're doing a good thing, but in reality, that's not true. After about 90 minutes, your brain just goes on total overload. So I don't advise people, sitting there trying to study for 6 hours a night or that kind of thing, because I don't think it sinks in really well. So I'll be handing out a lot of tips like that in my class.
Great. Well, tell me about some of the specifics that you are going to talk about in your class, because I know one of those things is successful strategies for taking the exam, just like the study habits and whatnot that you're talking about. What are some other subjects or topics that you're going to cover in your full-day class?
Well, I will be talking about how to get over test anxiety. I will be going over the material on exam, exactly what you need to study, and I will be giving out a lot of tips on effective study habits, just to make it, as painless as possible and as effective as possible at the same time.
Well, that's definitely important, knowing how to get through it, not just knowing the knowledge, but how to pace yourself, how to, grasp the information and retain it for the test. Maybe, or do you go over any strategies on how to remember those important facts or anything like that? Oh,
absolutely. Absolutely, I do, and I'm into little word games and just associations and repetition. I mean, if you think about it, how did we learn how to spell? Back in the first grade, you had to use that word in a sentence, and you had to write it out 10 times and that kind of thing. A lot of it is just repetition. So you have to find out what it is you need to focus on. I tell people, if there are areas that they feel very confident in already, if they feel very confident that they know anatomy, then focus on the physiology, focus on the kinesiology or whatever else it is that doesn't come as naturally to you. So I'll just be talking about a lot of different strategies to help people do their best and hopefully pass that thing the first time around.
Well, that's a good strategy, getting through it once and not having to go back again and again. I know that would probably cause some people more anxiety than taking it the first time.
Well, it does, and it's also an expense. So why go through that added expense if you don't have to?
Agreed, definitely. That's something we want to avoid. Extra expenses, especially after people have just paid their tuition to massage school and they're looking to get out there and make some money, not spend more.
That's true.
So, in the class, do you actually do a practice exam then?
Yes, we do. We will be taking a practice exam, and that's meant to show you what areas you might be deficient in, because I have weighted the test since the MBLEx and the NCE exams are broken down slightly differently. I've kind of hit the middle ground and as far as the subject matter. So we will be taking a little practice exam, and that's just kind of to show you where your areas of weakness are, where you might want to spend more time focusing your studies on.
Excellent. We talked a little bit about the book that you have authored about the massage and bodywork exams. I understand there might be a special opportunity for people that come to the class with that book.
I'll tell you what, it's the deal of the day. The first 70 students who come in are going to get a free copy of my book, The Plain and Simple Guide to Therapeutic Massage and Bodywork Examinations, which normally sells for $47.95, they're going to get one absolutely free when they attend the class.
Wow, that's awesome. What a
yes,
great
it
deal.
is. Thank you very, very much to the American Massage Conference and to ABMP, who I think is sponsoring my class, and to Lippincott, Williams & Wilkins, my publisher. They've all collaborated on this deal, and it's a heck of a deal.
It really is. Well, I hope that you're going to sign copies for everybody.
Oh, I
get
sure
your John
will.
Hancock on it.
I've got to come up with something really, really catchy, to start signing my books. I've been signing them the same way all along. I usually sign Peace and Prosperity, Laura Allen, but Ruth Werner told me a hilarious story that when her pathology book first came out and someone asked her to sign it, she said, I didn't know what to write, so I wrote, I hope you never get any of these diseases.
Oh, my. That is hilarious. And you said that was Ruth Warner. Wow, that's quite an original autograph signature line. I don't even know what to say about that one, except she's a lot funnier than I thought. Oh, that's hilarious. Well, Laura, we've talked a little bit about the class and the exam. I guess my question to you now is there anything that we've missed that we need to make sure students know about your class at the American Massage Conference, or any really important information for anyone that's preparing to take a massage and bodywork exam sometime soon?
I say to set yourself a definite date. That is a good idea. If you're graduating on June the 1st, just promise yourself, well, I'm going to take this exam on June 31st. Don't let a lot of time go by. The procrastination is your vital enemy. And the farther removed you are from school and from those classes and, getting that knowledge every day, the harder it will be to pass that exam. So don't procrastinate. Come to this class and get ready, and when you graduate, get right over there to that test center and take that exam.
I'm so with you on that. It gets harder and harder every day you put between graduation and taking that test. And one question that I have that you, I'm sure, will have the answer to while I'm thinking of it is, I know when I took the national certification exam the last time, we actually went to a test center and were able to sign up for it at a date of our choosing. Does the MBLEx work the same way?
Yes, actually, when you register, I haven't registered for that particular exam. I'm nationally certified as well, so I have, in fact, registered for that one in the past. You are almost instantly given a test date. I forget what their turnaround time is, but it's really short. Maybe it's not instantly, but maybe 24 hours or something. And also, when you apply for the NCE exams, the procedures are, they immediately will, I guess, someone at the test center they'll send you a 1-800 number to call. The test center folks will ask you your zip code and tell you what the closest test center is for you and set up a time for you to take it. And I believe as long as you I think you can schedule both of those exams like 90 days out. That's your window of time from the time that you register for it till the time that you have to take it. So similar procedures on those.
And do they both give I'm sure you'll go over this in the class, but I have to know, do they both give you your results at the time, or do you have to wait?
Yes, they do. You know the minute you walk out from taking that test, they will give you your results, as soon as you come out of the testing room.
Well, that's good. I know people don't want to be kept waiting in suspense, wondering if they made it or they didn't make it, if they passed, if they're going to be able to get their license and make some money, or if they're going to have to study harder and really buckle down to move forward and get that exam passed.
Absolutely. If that's what's standing between you and you starting your life as a licensed massage therapist, then I wouldn't mess around. I would get right with the program.
Most definitely. Well, after people have spent all that time in school, all that money and investment, I think it's really important to seal the deal, take your exam, send off all your paperwork after you pass and get your license. Just don't delay. Get out there and become a working massage therapist. That's what you went to school for. And Laura Allen's class, Laura, your class, it's going to be what can make the difference in you doing well on that exam or struggling. So I've
had a lot of students tell me that. I've unfortunately had quite a few over the years who, are people who have failed exams, sometimes multiple times, and come to my class and they let me know after the class that they passed and that it was the difference for them. So,
well, that's a great testimonial to have, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I'm always thrilled when somebody calls to tell me they passed.
I'm sure. Well, you're a great instructor in other areas, and I know that this is one more way that you're helping the massage and bodywork community be stronger. I think that it's a huge benefit to students that you offer this class, and I know people are going to want to sign up for it and take it at the American Massage Conference. But in case they can't get to the conference, or maybe they're not quite ready for this, maybe they've just started school, how can people learn about you and the other classes that you offer?
They can visit my website. I have Therasage is actually the name of my business, and it is not only refers to my alternative wellness clinic, but also my classroom continuing education facility. It's located in Rutherford, North Carolina, and the website for that is www.thera-ssage.com. Therasage.com. I also have a website at www.lauraallenmt.com. That's linked back to that as well. And you can always find me on Facebook.
That's the truth, boy. This woman is a Facebook and social media maven. So if you can't remember her website addresses, look her up on Facebook. I know you'll find her there.
Well, they can look you up on there too.
Well, you can look both of us up. We're there to help you online, on social media, wherever we can, helping the profession in any way we can. But thank you, Laura. And let me just take a moment here to remind people how they can get signed up for the American Massage Conference, because we really want everyone to come to this inaugural event in May. It's going to be the 20th through 22nd in Atlanta, Georgia. If you want to take a quick look at the website, it's www.americanmassageconference.com. But let me tell you what your amazingly affordable $40 registration will get you at the American Massage Conference. First of all, it's going to get you access to 25 free one-hour classes, as well as admission to an incredible trade show, as Laura was mentioning, where you'll have the chance to meet vendors and product manufacturers, equipment dealers, where you can sample different sorts of supplies, oils, lotions, towels, etc., and see the things that you've read about in magazines and have wondered about. Come and check them out firsthand at the trade show. You're also going to get the opportunity to win thousands of dollars in door prizes. And having been at the Canadian Massage Conference, another conference that's put together by this group, I will tell you, these are some great door prizes. That $40 ticket alone is worth entering this drawing because of the chance of great things that you have to win. But you also get admission to the Saturday night gala with food, drinks, and live entertainment. And of course, we've got the free student day. Free student day with a Smart from the Start presentation and Laura's free class that we've been talking about on today's broadcast on how to pass the MBLEx and NCB exams. Again, that comes for the first 70 people who sign up for her class, a free copy of the book donated by her publisher, Lippincott. So that's an incredible deal for students as well as anybody else that comes to the program. In addition to the free 25 hours of education and all the things I've mentioned, you also have the opportunity to sign up for 100 other hours of continuing education from some of the best presenters in the massage therapy and bodywork industry. Additionally, we're going to have the first National Massage Therapy Job Fair on Sunday the 22nd. This is not just for people who live in the Atlanta area. This is a national job fair with national, state, and local employers. So anybody that comes to the conference actually has the opportunity to walk away, to go home with a new job. So you'll definitely want to stop by there if you're looking for new employment. And all of this is made even more affordable by a wonderful hotel rate. It's only $121 a night at the conference hotel. And whether you do that rate by yourself or you split it with a few friends, it makes it so affordable. You just can't miss the American Massage Conference. And if you can, you do want to stay on site at the conference hotel because that's where everything's going to be happening. Also, as a reminder to everyone, there's going to be a show guide. It's going to make up the center spread of Massage Today's May issue and will go out to over 62,000 massage therapists, as well as being available at the show for free. This is the first nationally circulated conference show guide and is going to have some amazing advertising opportunities. So if you're a vendor or an educator that's listening today and you want to get some great exposure for your products or classes, please contact Sandy Pierce at Massage Today for details on being a part of the show guide. I hope that after today's interview with Laura Allen, all the students out there are ready to come to Atlanta and sign up for Laura Allen's class, How to Pass the NCB Exam, or MBLEx, and that's sponsored by ABMP. Again, if you'd like to find out how you can attend the American Massage Conference May 20th through 22nd in Atlanta, how to meet Laura and attend classes for all the amazing presenters at this year's event, please visit the official conference website at www.americanmassageconference.com. We also invite you to stay connected with us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/American Massage Conference. Laura, as always, it's been a pleasure talking with you today. Thank you so much for taking the time for this interview and for sharing your time and your knowledge with all the students out there. We're really looking forward to having your class at the American Massage Conference.
I'm looking forward to being there, and I'm telling you, I'm on the website right now looking at the Smart from the Start description, and I just encourage every student to attend that. The presenters are just unbelievable people, and they'll just have a great time. I really thank you so much for having me, and it's been great talking to you. And I'm sure I'll see you somewhere out of the state. I'll see you at the American Massage Conference.
That's right. We can't seem to connect in our own state, but we'll see each other in Atlanta. Well, thanks, Laura. And thank you to all of you for being here tonight. This is Felicia Brown, and on behalf of everyone from the American Massage Conference and Massage Therapy Radio, I want to thank you for tuning into this broadcast of the American Massage Conference pre-conference broadcast series. Please remember to check back often for upcoming interviews each week between now and May 20th. Thanks again for being here tonight. We look forward to seeing you in Atlanta in May. Have a fabulous night.
Come again.
Let there be plenty. Let there be plenty love. Let there be